What's good, everybody? It's your girl Ransom, and I am back at you with another episode, and we have two guests today, one returning, one new, and I don't even really know them, so this is exciting. This is a first for all of us, but I'll have them do a quick intro, and then we'll kind of go from there. Thanks for being here, Grüv. Tell the people about you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I am Grüv. I am a Denver artist. I am multidisciplinary, mostly music. Most people know me from DJing, but I've been doing everything. So I'm just blessed to be here, and I love your shows that I've already watched. So I'm here to yap a little bit, you know. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes, of course.
I know Ransom said I'm the second guest, but I'm actually co-hosting today for
He is co-hosting
our new segment. What is it called again?
The Creative Channel.
Okay.
So the Creative Channel, I noticed that with some of the guests, it just started opening up this portal, especially after Honor's appearance, of just like talking to people who are in their creative flow and their creative state, and I wanted to give that its own home. And so Grüv, you are the first, well, technically like the first of this new announcement of the segment.
Of course.
So thanks for being here. So as Honor said, he's going to be co-hosting. So this will be fun because I can only ask certain things from my knowledge and wisdom and what I do, but Honor is also very creative and in that flow state a lot more than I'd say I am. So he can come at the guests with different questions and all this
Come
stuff.
at me, bro.
So,
Come at me.
All right.
Pick the brain. So,
and if I didn't already, I'm Honor Indigo, the co-producer of Vybez Don't Lie and the Creative Channel, but also the Creative Channel.
Exactly. Yes, we're talking to the channel, and we're in the channel.
There we go.
Much so. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yay. Well, let's start with you. You have a new album that just dropped.
Absolutely. My last project, Sin Pie, is out on all platforms and things. It is a full-length album, self-produced, self-performed, written, recorded, all that stuff. I've been making music for over a decade, but this is really the first debut project under my I Am Grüv title, and so it's a deep one. It got a lot of meat to it. It's definitely just a diary. It's a very personal project, but I was happy enough to share it with everybody. So yeah,
That's awesome. How long were you working on it?
Oh, that's the beautiful part. Technically a few years. I didn't really know exactly how it was going to come together. I have a bank of ideas. I have kind of a rollout of continuing projects, but I didn't know how this was going to exactly formulate. But it was when I made the last song on the album. It's called Altar Calls. It's a very just heavy, just religious, traumatic, just sad song, but it really signified the energy that I wanted for the whole album. And then I was able to go back and see like, oh, I've actually been working. Oh, I got this. Oh, okay, this is coming together pretty well. And so really consciously, I'd probably say 6 months or so, but just by regiment, just by practice, just by having music and having stuff in my library, it just kind of it made itself, honestly.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask real quick, did you implement any I'll say techniques that you would approach to DJing in your production of this album?
Ooh, that's a great question. Short answer, yes. Not as maybe as articulate as I would, maybe as a cohesive like mixed album. I actually really love albums that are like a mix album, like all the songs blend into each other. But DJing definitely has informed me, or has sharpened my chisel around like BPMs and like matching and key matching. And so it really track listing has always been a huge thing for me. So I really feel that it just really assisted the overall fluidity of it. Ironically, I guess in a sense, none of the songs are songs that I would play for DJing. They're not really DJ
songs.
type songs.
Yeah.
So, but you know, definitely a lot of the music that I do listen to and that I play, you know, definitely inspired it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dope.
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, you know, how do you create? You know, like what's your process?
I don't know.
Yes, I love this. That's why I was like, yeah, ask him a question.
Yeah. Let me see.
Pick each other's brains.
It's funny you ask that because I am not a DJ.
Right.
However, for one of the songs that I haven't yet released, I did feel like it was a DJ sort of approach, and that I wanted that song to be a continuation of like a set, you know, and also in the sampling aspect of taking lyrics from music that I love and repackaging them in my own way.
Vibes. You know? I totally like that.
Yeah.
I love sampling. I didn't sample too much, especially like being my own music and copyrights and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a process to make an album. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't want to downplay that, but it was a lot of original sounds and a lot of things, but I definitely love samples. Oh my god, I love samples.
Yes.
Because you do DJing, but you also created an album. Out of the two lanes, which one came first for you, like DJing?
Oh, Vybez. Yeah, I definitely been making music first. That's always been. I've always been a producer. I started rapping at the end of high school. Right after football got out, you know, I was like, all right, what are we gonna do? Me and my homie, we just started rapping because we both did poetry, and so it was just a continuation of just my art in general. But making music has always been the vibe, and then DJing has really just been a way to support that and give me a completely different avenue to express myself. Again, because some of my own music isn't DJ specific, it still allows me to connect with people in a much different way. I love being in the scene. I love connecting with people and seeing people dance. So the music production came first, but the DJing is definitely like the bread and butter. It's my main source of income, I guess you could say. At least at first, you know. So, but now I do a lot of different things: photography, videography, and and modeling, and so many different things. So really, everything has been an expansion from the music. Like when I was making music, I had to make a cover art for myself. So okay, let me learn graphic design. You know, I had to. You have to promote yourself. So okay, let me learn like photography. You know, so it really, you know, some things are, you know, I don't know, some things just come so easy to me, and I don't mean to say that like so blasé, but like it really is easy because it wasn't in a space of trying to do. It really was just like a support. It was supporting the original goal. So I think that sometimes we get caught up in like, you know, when you're trying to learn guitar, or you're trying to learn how to sew, or you're trying to do that thing, we get that block in our brain that it's so harder than it is. But I'm telling you, like just do the thing. 9 times out of 10, like, you know, you're gonna mess up, but like you're not gonna mess up as much as you think you are. Like it's like just do the things, get to it. Like don't think about it as much. You know,
get out your head into your hat.
Yeah, you know. So
I love your photography too. By the way, when I knew I was aware that you were a musician and a DJ first, and then I was checking out your various pages. I'm finding more friends that have like different pages for their different.
Because that's the way to go. Like I don't understand anybody doing one thing. I mean, like, and I don't. Again, I think so much of it is tied to our work and like the you know, the money and the finances of things. Like nah, but like I totally understand that, but really, you just to be a well-rounded person. I mean, there's so many ways. I just don't understand how you do one thing. Like it's just all the art forms inform another.
You don't want to learn about yourself.
You know, and like and you know, just like the art forms inform each other. I feel that modalities and doctrines and religions and a lot of things inform each other too. So it's like, why would you study one religion? Why would you study one? Like there's so much in all of it that like you could just be such a more well-rounded person.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, that's not to downplay anybody who, like, if you are focused on one thing, definitely focus on that one thing. Focus on that one thing. Focus. But you know, just allow yourself to try new things, and you know.
Yes, and circling back to your point about kind of these new modalities coming a bit easier to you, coming from or with the conviction of it being a supportive thing for a more spiritually tuned medium, being music. I think I made that point when you first had me on of switching gears of it being like, fuck, like this is a thing that I have to get good at, and like if I don't, then I'll be ass compared to everybody else. Switching gears from that, coming into or going to it being a tool that is a supportive thing in the craft.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that. And even the craft itself, like, you know, like music, I'm still in that space. There's some days where I'm blindly, you know, my biggest fan, and I'm just like, oh, I'm the best in the world. I know I am, right? And then there's days where I'm more practical, and like, you know, I'm like, and especially with like the more you learn, like the more technical you learn, you really do know, like, okay, actually, it's not as good as it could be, and that's just a whole different thing where it's like, okay, gosh, you know, so
multiple things could be true though.
Yeah, exactly, you know, exactly. So, but I think like it is. There's some days where I get into my technical head, where I'm just so just earthy and just like so, you know, naturally thinking. But then some days I'm just like, oh yeah, this. Even most of the album, you know, how it came out was very therapeutic and very raw, and you know, I just like freestyled most of the stuff. I just whenever I was going through the thing, I would just go into the studio right away and just deliver that emotion. Just so there was a lot of like fluidity there, and so thankfully I was able to just like release, but also being the producer, I'm fixating on it on all of it after the fact, where I'm like, okay, that was a lot of good emotion, but like you know, like you're kind of cracking there, like you're off key there, and like so it's like it's a you know,
start critiquing
the different hats, but definitely I love how you said that when you realize, you know, what you're doing is a tool. And when you realize like the vessel work of what you're doing, you're allowed to just like remove yourself from like the nitpicky part of it, and just like just create music. Instrument. You know, and I definitely I've been blessed to experience that. I think that's that flow state that we talk about, when you're just when you remove yourself from the situation, and you're just allowing the universe and allowing things to work through you, and yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. So I feel like I definitely have tapped in a little bit more, but it definitely is after years of being like, oh, I am just terrible, and then I'm gonna go through another. I'm tomorrow I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm terrible again. So, but today I'm feeling pretty good.
It's that thing of like the different levels of it, you know, of like you get to a point to where you're really fucking good, and then you start attracting people who are really fucking good.
There's a level up. Yeah, you gotta level up.
And then from there you're like, like I'm all right.
Yeah, there's always like the bigger fish thing. But then that's especially with art, it being so subjective. Like, yeah, like there's obviously the numbers of things, but I love seeing like very popular artists who's someone like, you know the guy from Toy Story, the you got a friend, like that. He has like the weirdest voice, whatever. And I'm like, I don't like. I mean, like he like it's just that like I don't like somebody loves his voice enough to just like to put like, you know what I mean, to put him on blast, right? And so it's like, and it's not like is it good or bad? Like it's just such a he's so unique. It's kind of like the same thing with like Louis Armstrong or whatever. There's like there's a lot of vocalists that are just so unique that you're like, is this good or is it just like
different?
Just super different. You know, so I think it's like in those type of spaces, like that's where I love that nuance of like, yes, there is obviously, again, there is music theory is a very like, you know, tactful, tangible thing. But just like the fluidity of creativity is there's no rules and there's no boundaries, you know.
Well, I have a question for both of you guys.
Please.
How do you navigate imposter syndrome when it comes to your art?
I hate that thing.
Not the side.
For me, if I can,
he's like,
the deep
fuck
side.
it.
Well, because I know the answer, and like I'm trying to move out of it, but the first thing that comes up for me is like actually working hard on the craft, because at that point, like I have the foundation of like, where's the imposter syndrome coming from if I've already done all the fucking work.
Yeah, I think that's very, you know, practical. I think with a lot of things in life, we tend to look at things so like esoterically, or so like, you know, like how do we do things, especially like creativity. That's creativity comes from practice, you know, and most, I mean, even like spirituality comes from practice. So I think that if you just practice a thing long enough, you generally get good at it. Like generally you should get pretty good at it. And so I think like it is very fun to get to that point where you're just so in it, where you're just like, oh, I'm just practicing, I'm just doing this craft, and you don't have to like think about like, and I think also like, you know, the potential, like that's also a good thing to know, like when you especially with, you know, with music, like again, you know the difference between like $1 million studio and like your closet studio, and it's like, but at the same time, like you know,
could produce the same.
You know what I mean.
Closet
like,
studio could.
You can do some crazy things. So when you start learning your potential, when you start learning more, you start seeing your potential differently. So it's like, it can be a little daunting when you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not like at those Grammy levels quite yet, technically, on a technical sense. But at the same time, it's like, oh, but I can get there. Yeah. And so I think it's like, again, some people get overwhelmed, and it's very daunting to think about that next level. But it's also very empowering and very inspiring when I'm like, okay, like it's cool, I'm not there yet, but man, I get to keep going. I get to keep elevating, because then once you get to that level, you're gonna keep. There is no ceiling, And so I think that a true artist, or a true just passionate human in general, is just gonna keep striving for more. And the imposter syndrome, I really feel like it just comes from the speculation time, not the action. Like, it comes from speculation, not action. So it's like when you're doing the thing, when you're in the sauce, you're in the sauce. Yeah. And we all know it. And it's like, and that's for anything. That's for anything. Like, I mean, like even eating, you're like, man, like I'm hungry all day. But when you eating food, you're not like, you're just eating, you're just rubbing. You like, especially when it's a good meal, you're just like, you lost in it. You're like, forget the conversation. You're like, I'm getting this now. You know what I mean? But like, but when you hungry, you're all you can think about is food. And so it's like,
and it's almost like you think you're not gonna eat.
100%.
Like my little Sinbad, he'd be like, before I feed him, he's crying like I never fed him before, and I'm like, my nigga, like you see the food right here, like relax.
Right.
It's kind of that point. Yeah.
Especially pets, but so I think it's so funny. I only laugh now because of the time that I've spent speculating and like overthinking and hating on myself. And it's just goofy. It's just so fun. Like after a while, like no one tells you, like you can read all these quotes on like, again, how to get over imposter syndrome or how to be more confident or whatever, but nobody tells you that it's really, you just get to a point where you're so tired that you stop bullshitting. Yeah. Like you're just like, I'm tired of overthinking. I'm tired of doubting myself. I'm tired of it's exhausting, like especially when you're a creative, or when you're a perfectionist, or when you're like, when you really want to be good at something. Of course you pour a lot of your energy into it, but it's much better on this side. It's just like, okay, let's just throw some spaghetti at the wall and just see what happens.
Right. See if it sticks.
I think that's part of our nature too as human beings, is to not fully ever be completely satisfied, because the needle still needs to be moved, because there's always going to be room for us to expand and grow. So to your point, I think it's important for us, if the imposter syndrome comes up, to remind ourselves like, hey, this is just an indicator that like I'm still trying to get better at what I do, and like I'm not here to be complacent or like stop getting better.
Right. No one talks about like the other imposters, the ones who are actually terrible at their jobs, and who are like, let's talk about like people. There's people who are successful, or very like who are top tier, who are in the Hollywoods and the top tier levels, and who may not be all that good. But they're just like, and so like they're like the other spectrum of imposter syndrome. When I think I'm so good that it don't matter what, then I just
your shit don't stink.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and like I see people get through, and it's like sometimes I guess that's it. Where I'm like, does it matter how good you are, or does it matter how much you put yourself out there, or how much you believe in yourself? And so so I think that's it's a really tricky thing. But no one talks about like the fake imposter. They don't. But it's like it's us. It's the ones who are. It's the good ones. It's the thoughtful ones. It's the conscious ones. It's the ones who like don't want to get over on anybody. Like we're the ones who are like, oh, like I'm such an imposter because like I'm not as good as I think I am, or whatever the thing. And someone else is like getting magazines off, like, knowing they're terrible. They're like, guess what? Oh, I know I'm bad, and I'm still getting this money. So I don't know. It's just it's funny.
That confidence.
So I just
I'm gonna be here tomorrow getting this money too. Shit.
You know what I mean? And we're out here like thinking about confidence and
angles and
it's like
random shit.
Some people just like don't. It doesn't even calculate. And I think that's just where it's beautiful. Actually, I was kind of gonna ask you a question of, even like with guidance and like especially like when we talk about like divinity or like just spiritual like knowledge and just like all these things, like I feel like because your practice in your walk, maybe some things come more natural, or maybe you understand things better. But like for people who don't walk in that light, or who don't maybe have a religious practice, whatever, it's like how do you talk to someone who just like who doesn't have that that basis and still give them like the hope that like it can work out, so to speak. Like, you know, it's like, because I'm out here just freeballing it sometimes, and, you know, but it's like, you know, but I look to you, I'm like, oh, like you must know what you're doing because you're practiced, or you know, you do all these things, you're a teacher, and it's like all these things. So I'm like, you know, and some people see that and they doubt themselves even more, because it's like, oh, like I don't have those things, or I don't have those blessings, or I don't have that. And it's like, no, like I still want to be able to inspire people, you know. So I guess, yeah, how do you talk to people, or how do you connect with people in your field?
Because I do get a lot of people who are like up and coming new business people, small business owners, who are like, hey, I'm ready to venture out, like I don't know what to do, and they've seen how I've been doing it and they really resonate with it. And the best thing I can always say is just follow your intuition. Like, I didn't start with the whole like, okay, we gotta reach the algorithm and it needs to be marketed a certain way and it needs to look a certain thing and the fonts and the colors. It was just like, I'm just gonna put out and I'm just gonna create, and whoever resonates with it resonates with it. I wasn't stuck on like too much of the perfectionism side, like I'd say I am now, where now I'm like, no, this could be better, like I can make this better. But it's also just one of those of just like, I tell people, be realistic with yourself. Like, what do you have right now in your tool belt? Like, where can we start? Like, if you don't got website, like, okay, we can figure that out, but what do you have? Like, do you have the vision at least? Like, if we don't have the vision, then it's really hard to work with like building something. And I just always tell them too, I'm like, half the time I'd be winging this shit. Like, you just wing it and you just have faith and you surrender to this process that it seems bigger than you, and shit just works out, and you just believe that it's going to work out. And also just believing that like everything that you're doing really is going to pay off, even if you're not seeing it right then and there, because there's a lot of delayed gratification that comes in
so much. But it's like, how I'm asking myself, like, and like the universe, because like I'm sometimes ignorantly faithful, where I'm just like, oh, it's all gonna work out, to the point where I might not do a thing or two, or I might let a thing or two slide, because I'm like, oh, it's okay, the universe got that. No, Grüv, you gotta show us.
They're like, wait,
boy, better get up and do something.
Right.
So, but yeah, so even so, I'm saying this like to anybody, like, yeah, how do we have faith? Yeah, like, how do we keep faith, or how do we build faith, or, you know, all that?
One, it starts with trusting yourself, because you can't trust in anything else if you can't trust in you. So it is like trusting in the wisdom and the knowledge that you've acquired. It's like part of that, like beating imposter syndrome is like reminding yourself of the receipts that you do have the qualifications to be in this space. It's like you wouldn't be there if you didn't, you know. So recognizing like, I'm here because somebody sees it. So like, let's think of it in that sense. But as far as faith, it's like, I think it's really just like a switch of the mindset of being able to just be optimistic and just say like, okay, like shit's just gonna fucking work out, and not question how, because too often the human's like, I need to know how and when. And it's like, no, you're not gonna get that. You just have to just continue to like prepare the path and get ready and declutter and make room and make space. But I definitely say a lot of just like, have faith in the decisions and the choices and the mindset, because they've gotten you this far. Right. So it's not gonna fail you now, you know? So it's one of those where I'd say like, you kind of got to be a little crazy to have faith in something that you really don't see. You don't see. You just have to have. And then then the proof comes when it starts fruitioning, and you're like, oh my God. And then the doubt's gone, and it's easier to believe and have faith. But I'd say like, gotta be a little crazy.
You do, Do you have like the good faith foundation, or like I think a lot of faith in yourself?
I think I'm starting to get there, and like in what Ransom is expressing, I'm seeing how there needs to be a part of the process or cycle that is review, and that is like,
oh man,
I think that's big for the imposter syndrome, and then like strengthening the faith, because it's like, why would I doubt myself if I've already made it through insurmountable obstacles?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, plus like the biggest, like the hardest part is just starting. Once you're in it, that's like the ball starts rolling, things start coming in, and then you see like how to navigate it. But it's like, most of the time people fail because they just won't take the step to actually just start the process.
The fear gets in the way of, and then you're
Yeah. And that's
It's
why it's
crazy.
like the receipts are important, because you can tell yourself like, no, I did do this, and
Yeah.
and then there's that moment where you think about the first time you felt it, and you're like, and this is how I got over it, and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
and
Right.
here we are.
Right.
And then if you just want to use time and be like, it's been years.
It's like, oh shit,
you know-
oh, wait, I have the formula already.
Yeah, it's
100%.
like
What
it's
am I
not been a
tripping
year or
about?
6 months. It's like you've been doing this for 6 years. Like why doubt?
Yeah.
It's like
Exactly. And I think that's where, I'm always curious of like the people just starting out, because like I said, it was pretty easy for me. Like I grew up in church, so I've been around music. Like there's a lot of things that triggered music for me, or things that triggered art for me. My dad is a painter, like my mom's a singer. There's just a lot of things
yeah.
just generally creative, and they nurtured that in our household. But I've just been met with a lot of people who it is really night and day, and they really haven't had that immersion of either like just self-awareness, not even just like creativity, but just like like being able to like that you can do whatever you want. You can actually, you can become and do whatever you want.
Right.
And so I think it's like I'm just curious of how to take all the time that we've had doing our craft, and like you said, like the review and the receipts. It's like, how do you show that to someone who's just starting out? And I think that's where it can get a little scary, where like you said, you just have to start, because once you start, the domino, oh my god, once you look back at your dominoes, it's hilarious. It's seriously, it sucks how hilarious it is, because if I never press record like on the first time, I'd be wondering my whole life for these last 10 15 years, whatever. Like, but thank goodness I just pressed record, even though I knew like I started out on a little like computer mic, like you used like to talk to text. It was like a headset, and I was like just like rapping on a headset, like over the beats, like I had to but I was like playing the beat. It was bad. It was like we were like playing the beat live into a speaker, like it was like
So like the feedback loop.
So it was I was recording. We were recording the music and me at the same time. It was a whole.
Oh wow.
It was just not.
A lot going on there.
It was like this was like the very start of it. Thank goodness. Very quickly we were like, hey, let's figure this out.
For me, it was the.
No, go ahead. Yeah,
it was like just starting out in Audacity. Like
right, and it was in Audacity, but I didn't know how to like put the music under. Or I don't know. It was just
record the music first, maybe
something,
and then we could do it.
I don't know what we were thinking, but it worked enough to listen back and be like, oh yeah, we got bars. Oh yeah, this is us now.
That's all that matters.
Like this is like I'm a musician now. Like I did it, and then I remember playing it in front of the homies, or the few hip hop people in the school. I went to a predominantly like white school, so there wasn't a whole lot of brothers there.
You went to school out here, right?
In the Springs, at Rampart. So I remember playing
Colorado Springs stuff.
and I played the music, and it was the best feeling, because I got clowned so hard. Me and my boy got clowned so hard, because it was actually bad. Like the quality, but it was hilarious, because like there was always like there was one homie that was like everyone was like clowns, but there was always like the one nice guy that was like the one wise guy. He was like, hey, I see what you're doing now.
I see what you're trying to do. Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do. Like but yeah, like if you never start, especially like it got to be janky. It almost has to be bad at first. It's not, and like so I just like I wish that everyone can be inspired to just really start whatever that they're thinking about, whatever they're dreaming about. And even though yes, you have to have faith in yourself, I think even that is like, I don't want to water down, like some people are just so practical, you can't say words like faith or like or like spirit. So it's like it really is math. Like there's like 1 + 1 = 2. Like the more you keep adding to it, it will build up, your resume, your skill set. And so like just think of things super practically. Like just it's I love RPGs. I love video games. So it's just like you live life and you keep collecting all those points and like your experience points and all those little all your side quests. I mean, like go on a side quest. Go on a side quest. Go do something for yourself. And
get your little enchanted item. Might help
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So and this is a beautiful side quest. I guess like did you even see yourself when you first started your journey, your creative, your your business journey, like, did you see yourself here today?
Oh, absolutely not. I thought I was going to be in the science field, cutting up bodies and doing all that. It's not in the
Like
creative field.
cadavers and everything
yeah,
like that?
yeah. I wanted to be a forensic pathologist.
Oh,
I wanted to be the
snap.
person who gave you closure as far as like why your person died. And now I can do this by not cutting you up, and I just talk to your loved ones. But
That's deep. That's
yeah,
real.
no,
That's
definitely.
real.
No, I love when people ask it because they're like, "How did you get here?" And I'm like, literally, it was dropped in my lap, and I didn't question it. I just did it, and then I realized like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Word.
So one, because before I forget, it keeps pressing on my head about your question of like, how do you like tell somebody who's beginning? I think the other big thing is that people who are like us talk about it more, of where we started, or show that, like, have a montage of showing like, this is my baby. And that's why I think it's great that Instagram and these platforms are here, and we can archive and you know, keep things up to date. But it's also like sometimes resharing and showing like, oh, this was baby Ransom, or like, you know, this is, you know, where we were. Like, even like, I'll keep my business cards because I like to see my evolution of my business cards. You know, so being like, this was my very first one, trying to figure it out, versus now look at what we got. It's more intentional. It has more information. It really shows more of who I am versus who I thought I was.
Yeah,
exactly.
And to build on that point too, I think the storytelling aspect of things, it humanizes the works of creatives in a society that pedestalizes us. You know? It's like, bro, we're just like you. I always love to think about that as like, dude, we could be swapped, you know? Like, it's nothing special other than like, this is my calling and I've just realized it. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, you could be a jack of all trades, but also I think it's important to start like taking time to master them as well. It's like we're saying, like, learn about yourself, evolve, expand, see where all you can be, but also like for the ones that are your niche, like hone in on those and do that. But yeah, no, definitely didn't see myself here. I was over here working hospitality and healthcare, and I was like, I'm gonna help people. And I was like, I'm gonna help people here. And then COVID hit, which I think all of us can agree COVID was the time. And I started all of a sudden liking crystals, and I was like, oh, cool. And then got fired. And shit was like, and at that point I was already like learning Reiki, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm just gonna like take this as a sign to just like go hard on my business. And so yeah, that's also one where it's like coming from that of like never knowing that this world existed, and then just having faith in that. That's why I say you got to be a little crazy. It's like, I don't know what any of this entails, but for some reason there's a part of me that says do it, and I fucking did.
I love that. Yeah, you definitely have to be a little delusional sometimes.
Delulu is the salulu.
And yeah, I think I wish more people had discernment and delusion, like in their own like, you know, fields. Because I think some people were like I said, some people are very practical. Some people are very like by the book, very traditional. And you know, it's really hard to imagine something more. And so quit your job and or let yourself get fired. So yeah, my dumbass. Well, no, this is. I say that. Let me speak highly. Let me speak better to myself.
Yeah.
My genius self.
Yes.
Quit my job. February of 2020.
Woo.
Like the genius I am. But moments later, less than a week later, I was getting cancellation emails because COVID was rolling out. So February 2020 into March 2020 was very funny for me. The rug was pulled out from underneath me for sure. I replaced the salary type thing. You know, I'm generally responsible. So sometimes I say that to say, like, you know, you can take a leap of faith, and sometimes it still might fall apart. But for me, like, the whole world fell apart, so I was kind of like, I'm gonna still figure this out. You know, I'm still be an artist. It was definitely tough at first. Thank goodness for my partner at the time and like my family and things. But yeah, no, it's I still never regret that. I'm so thankful for taking that leap and just trying something new, and like letting the downloads that I've gotten like over my life like inform me. I was heartbroken, of course, that I wasn't working right away, but there was no doubt in that I was supposed to be like a full-time creative. And so it sucks. Like there was doubt in the moment, but as far as like I knew I did the work, so I was like, okay, this isn't working out how I wanted it to, but it's still like what I want.
Right.
So
Everything's working for you.
It can be hard
not
to be in that space, especially if you are like a safe person, or if you are like a responsible person. Or, you know, it's really hard to take leaps because it doesn't always go your way. I'm gonna just be honest. But at the same time, like what it builds out to, or like what you become after you overcome that, it's insane. So you know, whatever you're doing, definitely take that leap. You know, post that post, send that risky text, you know, because life is short, bro. Life is like crazy short.
I meant to ask you earlier, and now the question's coming back, but I had asked you on the last podcast, like what kind of like environment do you need to create? So like for you, what kind of like environment is ideal? Man, definitely a clean space. I kind of like to use it cave-like. My studio, you know, it's all mood lighting and everything. Just a curated space. I don't like I said, like, you know, we can be in like $1 million studio, like, yes. And like I did start in the closet, and like some of my favorite things are in a low quality, like in a lower quality environment, so to speak. So like ideally, yes, the dream world is to be in my studio with like my lights and like maybe some tea, you know, like nice little J, you know, lit and everything, you know. But I really implore everyone to just get out of your comfort zone, and that's even to me, you know, and. Yeah, and my comfort zone comes from like my overall living, like my lifestyle. Like my house is clean. Like I keep plants around. I have frequencies playing on in the background. Like just I keep a very curated lifestyle to where like, I feel I can drop into my thing a little bit better. So I think is like sometimes we can again fixate too much on the creative process. Yeah. That like, you know, to the point where like me, like my creative process, like I've been so fixated. It's such a journey for me that every place that I've lived in, I've always had a studio space. Whether it was an extra room or a garage or something, I've always had something extra. So kind of like you said, like just when you go for what you want to, like what you believe in, like the universe will work its way for you. So I've always had that creative space. So I think it's like keep in your heart like the true like North Star of what you want, but allow yourself to be like fluid around like how that comes together, and it generally will come together for you.
I like what you're alluding to as well, and that's kind of like your overall living space or living style, your lifestyle. Creativity is a big part of that, and I think it's important for us as creatives not to delineate those too much.
Right, you know? I love people's like right now is like romanticize your life. It's just like it really is, and you know, especially when you get caught up with work and like family and just, you know, pets and everything, it can be it can feel tedious. And then we have this stupid word called adulting, so like we all just get into this like mindset of like, oh, this is what like life is now. And it's like no, like you can still play with Legos and like have like colorful lights and like big kid, you know, like it's just big kid energy. So it's like I don't know, like I just definitely like romanticize and have fun with your life, and you know,
and then in doing that, it's easier to drop into your creativity when it strikes.
I feel so. And so I'm just very blessed, and then I feel like it attracts other people, and too, like that's why like it was immediate connection with you, and you know, I love what you're doing and all the conversations you're having, and same thing with you. It's like I knew right away, like I didn't even have to see your artwork or even see. I didn't have to see anything to know. I was like, yep, I already know it's good. I already know it's good. There's a certain energy, like I said, like you know, when you put in your craft, when you put it, it's just something. Yeah, like it just like your energy precedes you. Like when you really put that energy into something, like it does. Like we forget it ourselves. Like that's the funny, frustrating part of it, because like, you know, we forget our own you know, shine sometimes. But it's like, no, I promise you are shining, and it's like, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. But it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, definitely, like I love your work. And fortunately, you know, following up, you know, you are good. You know, I'd been like, actually,
it's like I saw it and I was wrong. The energy read was off.
It's like, fuck, he has potential.
But no, I love how you know, just how you move and like the work that you're doing, like all your vignettes that you're doing, and just like it's just super, just smart, and just.
I appreciate that. Truly, for sure. Likewise, man. It was dope to see you in your essence. at Salon Sessions, which I had the pleasure of getting to capture on camera.
Yes, thank you.
And with the good friend Vinci too.
Vinci the last.
The last, man.
Shout out Vinci. Yeah.
Right. You'll watch
awesome artist. And and that's Salon Sessions is a event that I host in my house. And I have a project called 5 Points Parlor where I just host intimate events, different type of events. We had a tea and tarot night. We've had African tie-dyeing workshops. We've had just different things that I just try to activate my space a little bit differently because I really want to bring creatives together collectively. And so like that was a very awesome experience for me. I love house shows. Like I've thrown a few just like at all of my places, but I have a pretty decent crib, so I just like to.
It's a lovely place.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And so I just really want to have that space for artists because it feels different, like to perform like in the crib. Like it's just a different vibe, and it's like and everyone, all the like people who came were just like, yo, like this is like, some people said like it felt like touching grass. You know what I mean? It's just like it just feels natural. And like don't get me wrong, like the venues, like there's so many spaces for amazing art, but something about like the crib, something about the home is just like it's just
that
beautiful,
intimacy.
So I'm really happy that you came through and that like we've been able to do that. I've definitely some more coming up soon, but that was a vibe. Yeah, Vinci's dope. He crushed it. Like
he did great for his first performance.
Yeah, that was his first. Like
I was like, what the fuck?
Crushed it.
Yeah, but he's also heavy Cap and Gemini energy. Not to play his astrology guy.
No, put it out there.
But so I know he was practicing. And like, once he was in that mode.
I know he was
practicing.
Yeah, and we practiced like had him come through the day before for the sound check, and so we were just practicing and vibing, and it was very beautiful. And so I want to keep holding that space. Obviously, you're invited. If you do have a project or if you have something that you want to share. Also if you have like a class that you want to teach, or
she got all that.
Shut up.
Like let's say we're doing tea ceremonies. We do like
whatever. We could do whatever
the vibe is. Mikasa, Sukasa type vibes. So like come through.
That session is also. It gave more like permission and agency for an artist like me that does like to be more behind the scenes and then put my artwork out like, hey yo, y'all haven't seen me in a bit, but this is what I've been doing to actually be more forward facing in the performance setting.
Oh man, so it's like
that was cool too.
I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not really like a performance artist. I will admit, like my trajectory hasn't necessarily been that. Like I love performing. That wasn't like my big aspiration, like the Beyoncés of the world, so to speak. However, like because I love creating and love creating space just in general, like just performing is just kind of like a second nature thing, you know. And so I forget to put myself out there too. Like when I first released the album, everyone was like, yo, when are you performing? Like when was it a show? I was like, what? That was it.
What do you mean? That was it.
That not enough.
That wasn't it.
Like you need me to actually perform it. Like so it's like it's so funny, but like it's really it. But people really do. And as artists, I think also one thing that can help with the imposter syndrome is like you said, reviews of yourself and get reviews from other people. Like feedback is huge because man, people really actually like you, like the people actually fuck with you, like they actually like definitively, like they actually like, and they're actually to the point where they're like actually disappointed if you're not showing up. And like to the way like they look for you like to inspire them. Like people, like some people, I think as creators we forget the consumer side of things a lot,
right?
Like a lot.
The responsibility as an artist to show up a certain way.
And it is a responsibility, and I think that so that was a part of that practice for me, was definitely I need to make space and I need to perform more. And I definitely hope to perform even more this year. But also, just like I said, I want to inspire people like you, because like something again about that home space, it does feel you can have a great show and still like feel like in your safe space.
Right.
So I think it's like if we could all perform from our studios or like from our closets or from our like secret space, what would that feel like? And so when you get on stage and you're in front of those lights, and even on this podcast, like when you're in front of these like these cameras and these microphones, some people that can be very daunting for some people.
Sure.
And so that's those things stop people from even starting. It's not, sometimes it's not even like the craft itself. Like, I want to be a singer, I have to do all of this. And it can be daunting, but at the same time, it's like yeah, like I really hope that like, you know, like people that you're meeting, people like Ransom, like this feels good to me, you know, like it's not forced, you know, I'm not you know, I didn't really have to, it was just like a natural conversation when we started this.
It's also part of the self growth journey, you know. You could be held up on one part of it and be like, oh, I want that, but I don't want everything else. But it's like, well, you don't want that because it's uncomfortable, and that's where your growth is too. Yeah.
All right, $1 million question.
Oh, what do we got?
Creative blocks.
Ooh.
How do you navigate those?
Juicy. Just move on. A very practical practice I have is like a 15-minute timer. So
nice.
Especially for like making music, I start with 15 minutes, and generally I can make a beat or an idea come together in 15 minutes. If I'm vibing with it, I'm like, okay, slap on another 15-minute timer. So I just kind of get into that space. But if it's not a vibe, or if it's not really going where I want it to, then I'm like, okay, cool, like don't do it, because I will try to figure it out. Because like, so again, like sound space for me isn't always like trying to make a hit. It's like, how do I make this sound work in its own way thing? So I can get distracted a little bit from, I can miss the plot line a little bit. Where it's like, you know, like, no, you kind of just need to make a hit right quick.
Right.
Just make a vibe. You know, and so so especially like with especially knowing the science, like you can get very lost in experimentation. So I think you should just like set constraints for yourself, set timers, and it's also an ADHD practice. A lot of things I do are very like practical, like at the bottom line of it, you know. And so, you know, and that's also with starting. If you have an idea, if you put like 15 minutes on the clock, when you put like 15 minutes on the clock, y'all can do a lot of things in 15 minutes. Will you start and develop and build a multi-million-dollar business in 15 minutes? No. But it started in that 15 minutes. Like the idea started in that 15 minutes spot. You know what I mean? So I think it's like, once you just allow yourself to just get lost in something for just a constricted amount of time, you know, that's where I kind of get through that.
Creative juices start going.
Yeah, and absolutely. And so it's like, it can be tricky when I'm switching different mediums though, because my regiments aren't maybe as like particular, or like maybe like it's just different for every medium. But yeah, it's just like, just put a timer on. If it's not working, go step out, you know, get some fresh air. You know, don't come back to it tomorrow. Like, I mean, it's really not a big deal. Even timelines, if you are on a deadline for a project, I think it is actually very fine to communicate that too, where it's like, hey guys, like this isn't coming together how I want it to come, like, you know, can I sleep on this? I'll hit you guys in the morning. You know, if it's not a pressing matter, or, you know, if you have clients involved, communicate with them, or, you know, it's like, hey, like, I really like these edits, but I need to just sleep on them for another night, because like I've been looking at a screen for hours. So it's like, it's just those things that like, I guess just be practical about it. It's not so much.
Right.
Plus
it's
energy.
I feel that. I need to hear that. I know that.
But also just on an energetic level, it's like your energy is precious. So if you're gonna waste it trying to perfect, like get into your perfectionism, when that energy could be somewhere else, way more productive, it's like, it's like, and plus flow state, you don't ever force it. It just happens. Like,
you really can't.
You ground, you center, and then it evolves as it does. So it's like, if you're having a hard time grounding and centering, like, like, just ease up. Just say, okay, just ease up. What else can I do? Maybe you start working on that project, and then boom, the download comes, and you're like, now you could go back. But it's like, give yourself grace. I love that. Thank you.
No, thank you. That's a great question. Thanks for asking.
Did you have any last questions?
Any other questions? Oh my God. This whole thing has just felt like a meditation.
Yeah, this has been awesome.
It's been great.
Good.
Being able to reason with you and like finally pick your brain.
Sure. No, same.
I mean, you're just I only knew you for the tooth gems at first, and then I started looking at all your profiles, and I was like, holy shit, he does so much. And then I seen your music, and I was like, wow, this is insane. And then we had so many mutuals, and I'm like, how have I not?
Same. Yeah. I was like,
how have we not crossed paths?
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, when you align and the vibrations right, here we are.
Yeah.
And now we get to create and give the people things they didn't even know they needed.
Exactly.
Like, for real. And yeah, like, we really do need this space, and there's a lot of artists, like, there's a gap between what you're doing and like the artists, like
Mm-hmm.
again, because we are so in our caves sometimes,
Yeah.
we do forget that these not that we have to do this, but we forget that these even exist.
Yeah.
Like we forget that there's people who want to pick our brain or like
Mm-hmm.
want to like talk about these things, and I really love talking about anything because it helps everyone evolve and like become better humans, better artists, better lovers, better whatever the thing is. Like I love talking about all of it, and so I love what you're doing with the platform. I love what I've seen so far, and just keep crushing it for sure.
And that's the part of the whole reason the creative channel is like been created, because I felt like there's an influx of people who are either tapping into it or getting further into their craft, and it's like we need a space for y'all to come talk and be seen and be shown off, and also just for those who are starting off and are like, I don't know what to do, or getting in their head about it, and then they get to listen to your story and they're like, oh, so everybody's just kind of winging it, and then we figure it out, and it's like, yeah. Like you get a little bit of a direction, you see that little glimmer, and then you follow it, and shit just starts.
We're all winging it. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna keep taking the time, but I just really like. Again,
no,
like
for
we
real.
we spend so much
it.
time. Like, again, it's like it's the conscious ones of us. Like it's the spiritually guided. It's like all these like we're so thoughtful of so much, and I just want to like shake myself and just be like, stop, just stop it, just stop thinking. Like it's literally stop thinking more, like less thinking, more doing. I love that. Like it's just like
get out of your head and into your heart.
Oh my gosh. So yes, thank you.
And then also, I think it's important too for anybody who's like listening, as well as like a lot of the journey with being creative is like one, learning about your resilience, because this is about endurance, because it is that, like we were saying, delayed gratification. For some people, it is an instant, like they post and they're viral, but for a lot of people, it doesn't work that way. And it's like also the matter of like with the resilience and endurance of, it's like the saying, like if you quit, that's when you're about to hit. So it's like if you're really believing in yourself and you're like, I know this is gonna pay off, like don't fucking quit, because it could be that mindset choice to be like, I won't, that's the day you take off, so it's like, yeah, again, like if y'all are gonna take anything from this episode, like when you put your mind to it, just have faith and believe in it, have the confidence, and it'll work out. Like trust that it'll work out. You have to trust yourself though. So
keep going, keep developing.
Well, go ahead and plug yourself. Tell the people how they can find your album, if you got any shows going on, all the likes, any of your links I'll have in the description so that they can get to you faster. But yeah.
Respect. Yeah. Well, I am Grüv. I am GRUV. Do not forget the umlaut over the U. I am on all socials. I'm everywhere. You can check my website, iamgrüv.com. My last album, Sinpie, Sinpie, is out everywhere. I do have a new project dropping very soon. That's a whole nother thing. But just stay tuned. And whatever you're doing, just stay blessed, and just trust yourself.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank y'all. This has been The Creative Channel.
The Creative Channel. Yes. Reading Rainbow.
Peace, y'all.
Yes. Well, yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, anything of what Grüv just said will be in the description. You guys know where to reach me on Instagram at expansionsransom LLC, or you can send me an email at expansionsransom@outlook.com. But I look forward to bringing you guys more content and more people and more vibes, and we'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye. I was saying, so I'm going to do my intro. I'll have you guys introduce yourselves, and then I was going to do my spiel. I was saying, so I'm going to do...